to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie, and today we are going to talk about Andy Dalton signing with the Cowboys. But before I get started, please be sure to subscribe and like this video. Also, share this channel with your Bengals fans. We're trying to go ahead and grow this. We're at 5,000 subscribers, but I know Who Dey Nation, we can do better. Let's do it. So if you are a fan of my channel and you want to put other Bengals fans on, please share this in your Facebook groups, on your Twitter, wherever you can. We really appreciate it. So originally, when I first started talking about potential places that Andy Dalton could do, I did an older video where I actually did name drop Dallas in that video. That was one of my first videos when we talked about it. Obviously, I just dropped a recent one and removed Dallas from there because at the time I thought that they didn't have enough cap to do it. But it seems that my original thought was correct. It did seem like Dallas was an option for him, with him being from Texas, as my guy Jazzy TV is from Texas. Always talked about Andy Dalton possibly going back home. Be sure to follow his channel as well. It makes sense, right? Because Dallas is in a position to where they're playing checkers. Well, Dak Prescott and his agent are playing checkers, and Jerry Jones is playing chess. This is a chess move. They are currently in negotiations with Dak Prescott. They feel as if they shouldn't have to pay him as much as he wants, and there's kind of been a stalemate. So enter Andy Dalton. He's in a situation where he's desperate to come in and look for any place where he could kind of come in and be that starter. And this is a situation where he could end up doing that, depending on how the holdout goes from Dak. And I think that this move definitely takes some leverage away from Dak Prescott, which is a shame because I do feel like he does deserve an extension. However, does he deserve to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? That is a true question. And Andy Dalton, although they are very similar quarterbacks, he's not going to command that much money. So this is a guy that you could feel comfortable with rolling into this season and going with Andy Dalton. Now, let's say they go into this season with Dak and Dak doesn't do well, right? Andy Dalton's there to come in. He's there to assume that position and entrench himself as the starter, especially with them rolling that gamble. And let's say, for instance, things don't work out. And like I said, Dak doesn't play well. If they have Andy Dalton would immediately sign. And I think any quarterback really would, given that situation, given the wide receiver core that they have now, Ezekiel Elliott, that offensive line. It's really a perfect situation. You also talk about the defense. So you can see why Andy Dalton would want to go there, because if things do go south, that is assumed to be his position. He'd have first crack at it. He wouldn't have to worry about a rookie looking over his wouldn't have to look over his shoulder worried about a Joe Burrow situation or anything like that. And Dallas Cowboy fans, what you're getting in Andy Dalton is a solid quarterback. As long as everything around him is good, he will play well. Now, he won't be a guy that's going to be able to put the team on his back and go out there and light up the scoreboard and just make it so that you don't have to worry about anything. But he is a guy that if you have the proper tools in place, you can win with. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys do have that. You look at that wide receiver core there. You talk about CeeDee Lamb. You talk about Amari Cooper. You talk about a lot of the guys that they have over there, probably one of the best wide receiver cores of the league. You talk about Randall Cobb. I mean, it's loaded over there, right? And then Ezekiel Elliott, you can't do much better than that. And then you talk about a defense that's really turned it around on the other side of the ball, and they are simply getting better. You look at this draft that they did, they kind of took some picks on both sides of the ball to get better. In my opinion, they had the best pick of the first round with CeeDee Lamb. So he's walking into a great position. And then you also have Mike McCarthy now as the head coach. So you've got all of those pieces in place for Andy Dalton to have success. So this was actually a great move and a great decision for him. And then you're only having to guarantee him $3 million, which is amazing. This is a guy that was expected to make about $17 million coming into this season with the Bengals. But obviously that plan changed once Joe Burrow came into the fold. So in that instance, you're getting a hell of a bargain for this guy, and you're getting a hell of an insurance policy for if you do decide to say no to Dak Prescott. And to me, it's just, like I said earlier, Dak Prescott and his agent are playing checkers, and Jerry Jones and ownership, they're playing chess. And this is the perfect move because he's a capable starter. This is a guy that was able to get the Bengals to the playoffs 5 straight seasons, and this is a guy that can come in and do whatever is asked of him. It will be interesting to see what happens with the situation. Some people expected him to go to Jacksonville. I kept shooting Jacksonville down because I felt like Jacksonville is trying to position themselves to tank for Trevor Lawrence, and that just wouldn't have made sense for them to bring Andy Dalton in, and then he's looking over his shoulder with the Gardner Minshew, with the Trevor Lawrence. It's the same situation that happened in Cincinnati. Although he knows Jay Gruden, he also gets to go home. He doesn't have to move. A lot of people overlook that aspect of it. With him having a growing family, that is another aspect of it. You have to take your kids out of school. You have to have family members that and that might not have been the case in Florida, or it might not have been the case in New England. So that is the case in Texas. He still has a house there, so it makes perfect sense. And current CBA rules, I think, will make it extremely hard for Dak Prescott to hold out. It would cost him a lot of money, being that this guy essentially was a later round pick. He doesn't have that savings lined up there to really just hold out. But I think that this takes a lot of leverage from him, and it has him looking over his back and could potentially cause him to underperform throughout the season. Now, we still have to see how this plays out, but I think that this was a great move for all sides involved in terms of Andy Dalton, in terms of the Cowboys. It makes perfect sense. It aligns, and I can understand why Dalton would request his release to get into a situation like this, because essentially you could be putting a lottery ticket in on being behind the best offensive line in football, having all those weapons there, a great defense. It's a great area for him to succeed in. So best wishes to Andy Dalton, and I think that he made a great decision on this move, and I think that this is something to keep your eye on. The Bengals do play the Cowboys. We'll have to see if that starting quarterback is going to be Dak Prescott or it's going to be Andy Dalton. Cowboys fans, if you're here, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And if you have any questions for any of the Bengals fans about Andy Dalton, we'll feel free to let you know about him. But as usual, I will end this with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday. This is not a drill, people. The Joe Burrow jerseys have dropped. Please be sure to get yours now. I've put a link in the comments. If you use my link, 8% of sales go to New Stripe City. Get you a Burrow jersey. Get right. Go ahead and get these now off of officially licensed fanatics.com. I've got a link and a video to show you exactly how to do it. Things first, you're going to click into the description and you're going to click on the Joe Burrow jersey link. And once you open that in your browser, it's going to take you to Fanatics. And once you get to Fanatics, you simply just have to scroll down, pick your jersey, whichever one you like, pick your size, and then go ahead and make your purchase. And any purchase that you make definitely helps us out here at New Stripe City. Gets you an authentic Joe Burrow jersey. The shipping is free right now. There's even a 365-day return. So if you don't like your jersey, you can always send it back. This is 100% authentic. And right now, I would take advantage of the free shipping. Officially kick off a new day with your Joe Burrow jersey purchase.